It is another amazing evening that we're coming to your screen, Elevate TV Kenya, and Marriage and Bliss, and we are here to discuss matters marriage. We want to discuss the issues that we are getting in marriage as we realign the order of God in marriage in our generation and generations after us. So today we are having an amazing topic that we want to discuss, and I have guests who have experience in this. So today we don't have a couple, but we have a professional and we have a wife, and we're going to discuss a very heavy topic. Some call them mother-in-law, some call them mother-in-love, and for some it is monster-in-law. So today I want us to discuss and just break it down. How do we bring the order of God in relations to mother-in-law? How do we relate with them? Is there any particular order that we need to walk in and talk about so that we bring order in our marriages and in our relationships? So today, help me invite our very wonderful guests that are on studio today. They are going to introduce themselves. So I will start with the one on my left. Just introduce yourself to our viewers. Just tell them who you are, how long have you been married, and some of these things.
Hi viewers, my name is Nina Njuki. I'm a wife and a mom of two. I've been married for the last 13 years now. Yes. And
Wow,
welcome
married
to the
for 13
show.
years.
Yeah.
Wow, thank
Yeah.
you very much. Karibu sana. Yes.
Hello viewers, my name is Irene Werimo, or you can call me Mrs. Henry. I'm also a wife married to one husband known as Henry Mboro, and we've been blessed with two beautiful children, Precious Mombi and Chris Jaba, and I'm a born-again Christian.
So you will agree with me that we have the right people on studio, that they are wives, they are daughters-in-law to someone, they are daughters to someone else. So it is high time that we discuss this hot potato, that we talk about it. We break it down because it is breaking out marriages in our generation.
Yeah.
So I think I will start with you. How is your relationship with your mother-in-law?
Personally, I would say it's good now, but when I got married initially, I didn't get to understand some of the stuff that goes around, and it's because I was very new in the marriage, so I knew nothing. And so there was this thing of being too close, and whenever we had conflicts with my husband the first 2 years, the first place I found safety is in my mom, because personally I lost my mom when I was in high school. And so when I got married, the only mom I knew when I entered into marriage was my mother-in-law. I didn't know the advantages and disadvantages of disclosing every matter, every little fight we have with my husband, how it would affect my relationship with my husband. And so with that, I got to learn that mother-in-laws will always love their son, no matter how wrong their son are. And so it used to come back to me in a bad way, because whatever I shared in confidence, I thought it would be in my favor. Instead, it favors now my husband even more. So it became like even more worse in sharing my problems with my husband, because again, my husband would come back and ask me, why did you tell mom A, B, C, D? So it didn't work so well. But with time, I've learned what to share with my mother-in-law and what not to share with her. And so you find that there's that mutual respect, and I kept now distance on her, especially in knowing what to place where.
So when you were beginning, you were giving her everything
Yes.
openly, or you were an open book to her?
Yes, yes.
Bringing it to you, let us now take you as a wife, not as a professional first.
Yes.
Let us take you as a wife. What are some of the things that, some of the mistakes that you feel you made when you were beginning the relationship with your mother-in-law?
The mistake I did, first of all, is when I entered marriage, I entered with this perception: all mother-in-laws are evil, all mother-in-laws are bad. And so you enter marriage armed to defend yourself. But when you're in there, you find that not all mother-in-laws are evil, Actually, some of us now, the wives, are the ones who normally make them change according to the way we handle them and the way we treat them. So the first time I entered marriage, I knew all mother-in-laws are bad. And now I knew I'm going to arm myself. I'm ready for her. The
You are
time she
going for
begins
battle.
to interrupt in my marriage, I'm ready to attack her based on how the society frames it. Hakuna mother-in-law mzuri. I think that is the biggest mistake we do the moment we enter marriage. But we ought to understand not all mother-in-laws are bad. It depends on the kind of a mother-in-law you have.
They all want to defend their sons, as you have said.
Yes.
That you bring in confidence
Yes.
some of the issues that you are going through,
Yes.
and at the end of the day, it does not work in your favor.
Yes.
It actually works against you.
Yes.
Those are some of the lessons that you have learned, that
Yes.
there are things that you should not, as much as yes, they are good,
Yes.
as much as they are receptive, they have accepted you as a daughter, but
Yeah.
always they will have that point of standing with their son.
Yes.
So as a professional now, in matters relationship with a mother-in-law, so what are some of the conflicts that arise in matters relationship with the mother-in-law? What are some of the things that bring up the conflict?
First of all, I'll talk on my part as a wife. I trained myself to understand that there is no way I'll ever fill the gap of a mother towards my husband. And as women, we have to know that the mother will always try to scramble for power and position over her son. This is because she's the one who gave birth to your husband. She's the one who spent most of the years with the son. And now letting go as a mother cannot be that easy. So the moment we as wives understand that this is the mother of my husband, these are all she plays. There's a very special position she has in her son's life, and there's no way you can fill it with anything, because the mother's love, we all understand that ladies are for the men, you know. As women, we tend to love our sons,
More
and the
than-
daddies are for daughters.
Yes.
So there's no way, once the son now is grown up to getting married, that there can be that separation. So the moment we understand this is his mom, there's no way we can feel that that agape love since birth. You can imagine this mom is the one who saw that husband of yours the first time she gave birth to him. They've come through a journey. The reason why you loved that man, it's because there was a woman behind the moral, the character, and that is what attracted you to the man. So the moment you understand this woman is not interfering with your marriage, it's not like she's there to possess your husband. She's only there to feel that warmth of a mother, to which you as a wife, you cannot satisfy that. Yes.
It is always said that in every man's life, there are four ladies that are struggling to get their attention.
Yes.
Number one is the mother.
Yes.
Number two is the sister. Then it comes to the wife.
Yes.
And then the daughter.
Yes.
And most of the times, because the mother and the sister have been with this person for so long in their life,
Yes.
it is easy to glamatize.
Yeah.
Now the wife comes to fit in a shoe that she had not worn before.
Yes.
And for a daughter, it is just simple.
Yeah.
But for the wife, is the one that struggles to fit into that space.
Yes.
For you, I believe that it was a journey getting into the family. It was a journey where you needed to struggle, so to say, to fit into the mother, and maybe if he has sisters. So for you, what was the journey like?
I think I'll agree with what Irene says. Many of the times we don't get to understand where their space comes in, or how they're involved, especially when now you're a husband and wife, because the love of a mother or the love of the sisters now towards their brother is too tight.
Yeah.
True.
And sometimes it comes out so naturally, you cannot even understand, and you wonder, like now when we would have a conflict, maybe he's called one of the sisters and he's told them that like we are not agreeing with my wife over this. So you'll find that even the sister would call my husband, like, come we have a cup of coffee somewhere, we talk. And so they are trying again now to bring him now to their cocoon and to show him that one, they can understand, and they also want to really defend his emotions towards whatever thing that they are going through. So with me now coming in and seeing someone else is taking him aside, I would feel so bad. I would really feel so bad, and I would not understand. But now, based on what Irene has explained, they are doing it because of the tight bond. You know, this is blood, and you know it is said that blood is thicker than. So I would not understand they're doing it based on the bloodline. This is my blood. I can only defend my blood.
Yes.
So I would again now like take grudge on them. I'll not call them. I'll not talk to, and then you keep a distance. So over time, I've come now to give them the space. Yeah, this is their brother. They've got, of course, to really give him that love that he deserves at that time that you're in conflict. And with that understanding, then you know how to separate issues without taking sides or taking grudge.
Wow.
Yeah,
Wow.
yeah.
This is a really engaging topic.
Yeah.
We are learning
Yeah.
from you guys.
Yeah.
So our viewers out there, if you are out there and have a question that you would want to ask, kindly just give it out. There are numbers on the screen. Please reach out to us if you want to get prayers, if you want someone to pray with you, if you want someone to talk to, kindly just reach out on the numbers on your screen. And I know that someone out there, someone will get back to you and you will get help. So coming back now to this conversation, who goes out of the line? Is it the wife? Is it the mother? Who goes out of the line?
Mostly both.
Both go out of the line.
Yes, both go out of the line. This is because now when the mother is now trying to scramble for power or position, she has to understand that the son is now all grown up to take his own responsibilities,
Yes.
to make his own decisions, and there's that disconnection. So you know, even the Bible tells us the man shall live.
Yes. Actually, it says the man shall live, not
Yeah,
the-
not the woman, it's the man. So the man ought to leave his home and go get joined together with the wife, and they become one. So that disconnection must be accepted by the mother, and out of love. The mother ought to understand that this is a son that is now ready to get married, and they need their privacy. There has to be boundaries set for them to have their own space, because even when that mother-in-law was getting married, the same way she needed to be treated by her mother-in-law is still the same way that she ought to treat now this lady that is coming to be part of her life. On the other hand, I'm talking on my part because I'm a wife, we also ought to understand that we need also to give now. I need to give my husband that space with his mom. However loving we are or connected we are, there is no way I can come in and separate their bond, their mutual relationship.
Yes.
So I ought to understand that my husband needs time to be with his mom. They need their own special moments because she's part of our life. Based on we need to have our own boundaries, there is a place whereby you can't disconnect from your mother-in-law. So I believe both of them normally go out of their way. And I normally tell ladies, just stick to your lane as a wife. Know that I'm a wife. There is a way I ought to treat my husband. There is that thing, that special thing I can give to my husband, to which my mother-in-law cannot offer to my husband. But I also have to understand there is that position I cannot fit as a wife, and this position can only be filled by his mom. Once you understand where you are, you stick to your lane. We will even give our husbands an easy time balancing between the mother and the wife.
Because most of the times the men have an issue
Yes.
with balancing.
Yes.
Because they are wondering, do
Yes.
I please my wife or
Yes.
do I please my mother?
Yes.
Which direction do I take?
Yes.
And most of the times it becomes a bit difficult
Yeah.
for the men
Yeah.
to choose sides.
Yes.
And choosing side means that you have to make one person happy
Yes.
and the other one not very happy.
Yeah.
And most of the times are when the wife feels obligated that you need to take care of me before you take care of everyone else. And for you, has that ever happened? To you get to a point where you feel this guy is really taking too much side on that other side and not taking care of my needs. There are needs that I feel I want you to be present, and you are not present because you're taking care of your mother. Have you ever gotten to that point?
Okay, personally, I think I was lucky because it didn't get to that extent because my husband was careful enough to keep that distance, and I think it's because of the experience he had had before, because he was in a polygamous family, so he knew to what extent bringing in, the in-laws too close can result to. And so there was that distance that he introduced to avoid those conflicts, and also to make us have that conducive environment and good atmosphere with each other.
Wow.
Yeah.
For you, I don't know. I don't know if it is the same environment that you had. Where did you ever feel that your husband is struggling to balance between you and his mother?
Yeah, of course, there are those moments that you'll find that now the husband is confused between favoring the mother or favoring me as a wife. And basically, it gets better when you bring it to the front. Like if a conflict occurs, just call both of them, because you value both of them. Just call them, sit them down, let them explain. So to me, I at first I could see my husband is now confused on which part to play, as in anifere
to take.
ama achukue part ya the mother, and simply because you want to take sides. Yeah, so the moment you choose to take sides, you'll find that it becomes difficult for you as a husband and as a son on how to balance the issue. But if only you can come to the front and show them, I'm not taking sides, I just want to deal with this issue, get to know where the problem is, point out the problem, and don't take favorism. Because the moment you do that, you even make it worse.
So do not take any side,
Do
either
not
side.
take any sides, yeah.
But you make sure that you harmonize the two.
Yes.
Without basically creating a boundary between the two of them.
Yes, yes.
Wow. And now this family has children involved. This family is not secluded to mother-in-law and wife only. It has children, it has uncles, it has aunties. So how far does it go when children are involved? Should they be involved inside the conflict that is happening in the family?
Okay, from my own experience, I think you shouldn't, because you have to separate issues, because the relationship shared between the children and their grandmother based on your conflict should not affect children, because children here are innocent.
Yeah.
All they know is a good mom, a shosho, yeah, who maybe brings us chicken over Christmas or bakes us for us some cake and all that. So whenever there are these conflicts, I think also maturity counts the most, because there are those parents whom, when they have conflicts with their mother-in-law, they bring in the children. But maturity will separate issues. You let the children know their shosho is good. Yeah, you shouldn't bring those issues into the children. So when you have that, you should always find a way of solving the issues without involving the children.
Wow, in your professional view, you have dealt with different couples and different people who have had issues with their mother-in-law. And I know that in the process of time, you have also dealt with people who children have been brought into the picture where they feel there's something that is not happening right. Tulikuwa tunaenda kwa shosho sana. Nowadays kuna venye
Hatuendi.
ilipunguzwa. Mom used to call shosho every time. Now she's not calling. And these children are very wise. They know how to deduce and pick and
pick,
see there is something that is not happening. And with time, they will feel distant from the family. So how do you deal with that from a professional view?
Basically, we as wives, because we are the ones who mostly stay with our children, we spend most of the time with our children, we need to understand that children pick issues and they register. The conversation you have with your mother-in-law, you may think your children are not hearing, or even the way you interact or the way you react, they will see and they will pick. And you find that basically this will affect the children, especially to those children that have been named after now your mother-in-law, like you have been named after Shosho, and most of the time I hear you quarrel Shosho on phone, or you don't like Shosho coming, maybe your husband will call you and tell you, hey, babe, today mom is coming, and you will throw a statement. Sasa anakuja kufanya nini? Hata haja tu alert. You know me, I have shughuli and all that. And probably your child is there. They will pick. And you find that if that child is named after the mother-in-law or the now shosho, she will tend to have that thought of kwa nini hawapendi shosho. And you will even find that it also affects the siblings amongst themselves, kwa sababu utapata the children will be throwing statements to now the named child. Najua wewe unakaa tu kama huyo shosho yako, you know, because those things are there. And you find that that child will tend to seclude herself. Utapata ata feel she's not loved because she's named after shosho. And this will go to the extent of once that child grows up, they even end up changing the names,
because they do not want
they
to be
don't want to be
associated.
associated with shosho, because it was framed in her, shosho ni mbaya, shosho hates mom, there was no good relationship. So if you can try to avoid bringing children in this would really make them even become better children when they
Just
grow
to
up.
ensure that they are safe.
Yes.
The environment is safe for them to grow.
Yes.
The environment is allowing them to love everyone in the family.
Yes.
Without pushing aside.
Yes.
So how do you deal with already inflicted children? Because there are some who have already gone through it. They have already gone to some extent. So how do you deal with this child who has already been secluded and set aside, and you want to bring them back to that knowledge of shosho ni mzuri? How do you talk to them?
Okay, first of all, I, as the mother, ought to deal with myself first, because if I am not yet healed, if I am not yet out of that understanding of my mother-in-law isn't that bad, and I shouldn't treat my mother-in-law in a very bad way, there's no way I can be able to help my children. So here comes where by me as a mother, I should lead by example. I should show my children that despite us having misunderstanding with your shosho, shosho is not bad. Shosho is not an evil woman. Shosho does not hate me. It's only that people fight, people have misunderstanding, but this doesn't mean that shosho is all that bad. So by doing that, you will be helping that child, whereby she had that that attitude, or she picked from you that shosho is not a good person. By how you relate, you yourself, you relate with shosho, it will automatically bring them back in. Because if I myself am not yet out of this situation, there is no way I can be in a position to bring back my children into making them understand that shosho is no longer that bad shosho that we've been speaking about. Also, if I myself am not able to counsel them or to advise them, I can engage someone else, maybe my sister or a friend, if it has gotten to the worst, whereby you're not able to explain to your child why maybe you used to treat your mother-in-law in a negative way, or maybe you uttered a certain statement. If you're not yet able to reach to that child, you can look for help out there, maybe through a friend or a relative who is much closer to your child.
So we have agreed, wonderful viewers, that we have affected the children to some extent. Some of them might not say it, but they have been affected because they feel that I have been named after someone who is not good.
Yes.
So I know it is not very interesting. So out there, if you want to help out the children, maybe you know of a child who has gone through the same, or maybe it is your own child or someone else's. If you feel you need help to walk this child out of the things that they have had, reach out on the numbers on the screen, and you can just text in, you can call in, you can get on all our social media platforms at Elevate TV Kenya, and just bring it out. We will try as the best that we can to make sure that we walk with this child until they get to that healing point where they allow themselves to love everyone in the family again. So we are going on a break. And after this break, we are going to be talking about the effects of this conflict on everyone in the family, because these effects get to everyone. They get to the children, they get to the uncles, they get to the aunties, they get to us and our relationship with our spouses. So do not touch that dial. Make sure that you follow us on all our social media platforms at Elevate TV Kenya, and you will be blessed every time. Do not touch that dial. See you after the break.